Good afternoon, everybody. We are watching the threat for some severe storms as we go throughout our evening, and then we're going to be watching for pretty cold air to stream in behind this. There is a tornado watch in place for parts of southern Iowa. That's along and south of I-80. It does not include Polk or Dallas County at this point in the metro area, but still most of southern Iowa under this watch, meaning conditions are favorable for severe weather later this evening. Our primary threats are still going to be wind, damaging winds, and large hail. We could see isolated tornadoes and maybe some flash flooding, but those threats are a little bit lower at this point. I do think the storms will really get going between 5 and 6 p.m. in southwestern Iowa, and we will see them continue to push to the east as we go through the early evening, knocking on the door in the metro through 7 to 8 p.m. time frame. There could be strong storms with that as well, and then eventually behind this more rain will develop, and the stronger storms by 9-10 p.m. will push into eastern Iowa. On the backside of that, colder air is going to funnel in. That will bring a shot at some mix or snow showers in northern and northwestern Iowa from Fort Dodge up to Mason City and back towards Spencer and Sioux City as well. By 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, most of us are in that mix or light snow category, but it will move out pretty quickly tomorrow morning, and it will leave us with a sunny Friday, but a cold and windy day at that. As far as snow accumulations go with this, I do think they will be on the lower end in northern Iowa, 1 to 2 inches in far northwest Iowa, about an inch from Mason City to Fort Dodge and Carroll, and less than 1 inch in Ames, probably just a trace of snow in the Des Moines metro area. And again, I mentioned the winds really ramping up later this evening as well, gusting as high as 30 to 35 miles per hour, up to 40 miles per hour overnight. And we will see the wind gusts staying pretty high as we go through tomorrow morning, and eventually the winds will taper off by Friday afternoon and evening. As far as temperatures go, we will start to see the cooler air rushing in, so if the storms don't get out fast enough, that could inhibit our severe weather threat just a smidge, but I do think the storms will get going before the cooler air rushes in. By 10 o'clock, most areas are back down into the 40s and 50s, with the exception of southeast Iowa, and then it gets even colder by early tomorrow morning. Most areas in the mid-20s, maybe even the teens in northern Iowa. And for high temperatures tomorrow, we're only expecting to be in the 30s. In fact, here's your Friday morning. We will have a few leftover flurries early. Plenty of sunshine, but it will stay windy with temperatures in the 20s. So a big change from today, this afternoon, to tomorrow. A high of 34 on Friday, back to the 40s for the weekend, and then the 50s and 60s again next week with a few more shots for rain and thunderstorms.